What if we told you that every war we know, past, present, or future, has a peaceful alternative? That violence is not inevitable, it is a choice, and so is peace. From the deserts of Darfur to the riverbanks of the Donbas, from the glow of cyber command centers to the untrodden landscapes of the Martian colonies of tomorrow, we invite you to explore a bold idea, a world where war is not needed because conflict is resolved before it explodes. Let's be honest. War is marketed as security, but what has it really delivered? $2.2 trillion drained yearly into military budgets from every corner of the globe. 110 million people displaced by violence. Cultures erased, children orphaned, and futures bombed. Education disrupted, infrastructure flattened, and a climate crisis deepened by fire and destruction. And yet, even when the bombs stop, war leaves behind only silence, not peace. So we ask, what if humanity chose negotiation over nationhood, healing over hostility, connection over division? A world without war and conflicts is not just a dream, it is a roadmap. Over the next 100 episodes, we offer a new vision. For every conflict, real, current, or imagined on the world's horizon, we propose a diplomatic solution. Every episode in this series dissects the anatomy of conflict. We delve into its tangled roots, the history, the grievances, the machinations of geopolitics. We listen to the people impacted, not as faceless statistics, but as humans with names, hopes, and dreams. We measure the true cost of war, economic, environmental, and emotional. Then with this foundation, we do something no century of generals has dared. We design a structured diplomatic solution, guided by Ahimsa, the ancient principle of nonviolence that urges us to solve with empathy. We build models of peace treaties that work, ceasefires that hold, reconstruction plans that empower all sides, and cultural bridges that connect, never walls that divide. Imagine at the close of each episode a glimpse of a world where the resources now spent on weapons are redirected. Education flourishes, healthcare strengthens, communities become resilient to disaster. Clean energy powers new industries. Food security grows roots and branches. And nations cooperate, not compete, in the global commons. Here's our journey, continent by continent, conflict by conflict. We devote 20 episodes to Africa, civil wars, resource struggles, and colonial legacies upended. 30 episodes examine Asia, from Kashmir's frozen passes to the shifting waters of the South China Sea, from the digital battlefields of AI to border disputes across a mosaic of cultures. 15 episodes plunge into Europe, Russia and Ukraine, Serbia and Kosovo, the echoes of Brexit, and the promise of ethnic reconciliation. 10 episodes tackle Latin America, drug violence, indigenous struggles, state collapses. Another 10 episodes reimagine peace in North America, from internal fractures in the United States to Arctic diplomacy and indigenous rights in Canada. Oceania and the Pacific take us to small islands, grappling with militarization and climate-driven tension in 5 episodes. Finally, 10 visionary episodes lead us to the frontiers, the ethics of AI warfare, the scramble to colonize Mars, looming water wars, and the invisible lines of cyber conflict. Each episode speaks directly, like a globally minded diplomat preparing for the toughest negotiation of their life, yet with a spirit that recognizes we are all citizens of the same planet. Why does this matter? Because the arithmetic of war is simple, and it is brutal. Every bullet costs a child's meal. Every missile takes away from a life-saving hospital bed. Every drone strike disables hope for a generation. Yet today, we invest more in preparing for war than in preventing it. A world without war wants to change that equation, to make peace practical, actionable, visible. This series is a reference for negotiators seeking a roadmap, for United Nations mediators, for professors and students of international law, for youth building a future of dialogue, for policy advisors and governments in search of a smarter security, and even for military leaders who know that true courage chooses wisdom over weaponry. This is not naive idealism. This is new realism, seeing peace not as weakness, not as an absence of violence, but as the highest form of strategic intelligence humanity can achieve. At the heart of every solution we explore is a spiritual principle thousands of years old, Ahimsa. More than nonviolent, Ahimsa means empathy, listening, restraint, and the courage to build understanding before bitterness festers. It is not passive, it is powerful. We pair Ahimsa with diplomatic logic, neutral third-party mechanisms, referendums, flexible treaties and new federations, reparations and truth commissions, language access, and education equality. Because peace is not inevitable, it is engineered. Now for a moment, close your eyes and picture this. A Ukraine rebuilt not by outside powers, but by Ukrainians, with international partnership and not military imposition. A Sudan where tribal groups share a unity council, co-managing water and resources for growth. A Taiwan Strait where competition is turned into economic partnership, and aircraft are replaced by trade ships. A Gaza where children learn coding and engineering, where futures are built in classrooms, not barricades. Imagine an Arctic not ruled by stealth submarines, but governed by a climate alliance that protects a fragile wilderness for all. On Mars, as we step onto new worlds, not flags of conquest, but peace charters engraved in the red rock, reminders to never remake the mistakes we left behind on Earth. These are not fantasies. These are genuine possibilities if we choose to design our future together. War is not our destiny. Peace is a design choice. Let us embark on these 100 chapters as not just viewers, but as co-builders of a blueprint for a world without war. Peace is not passive. It builds, it heals, and it grows. If we dare to imagine boldly and act justly, then the world without war is not just possible, it is near. Welcome to the journey.